extremely bullish right now, all the way up to $67,500 confirmed resistance when we try to break through this, heavily overextended. Right now, there are some major warning signs that most of traders are ignoring right now when it comes to Bitcoin. I will show you exactly what I'm going to do and what you should do in your best interest today. Don't miss out on that. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here again on this Saturday. I'm still sick. That's why the video is also coming a little bit late, because I was sleeping on my couch. But regardless, I'm here for you guys. Let's do this. We jump here directly into the DXY. There's not much to talk about this. Just really briefly here talking about that we are really close to break the 100-point level. Remember, guys, once we are breaking that, Bitcoin will be around $66,000, especially if we break this, come back up, retest then this level at resistance, get rejected, and continue to go to the downside, which will propel Bitcoin in the direction of $70,000. We are about to form a really small CME gap here at current price levels. Bitcoin is trading around $64,100, $200 currently. So we closed here CME yesterday at $63,935, $40 approximately. And now if we would open CME today, we would be at $64,300, $400. So there is a small CME gap below us that we need to fill. But this is not my biggest concern here. That will be just a blip on the chart and get continuation. There's something that concerns me much more that I will get into in a moment here. So here we're going to speak about this tomorrow again and have a look just before CME is actually opening to get a better understanding if we actually get a CME gap or we will not have a CME gap. Here on our Wall Street cheat sheet chart, we are perfectly on track, as I mentioned yesterday, that we should have gotten here this pump. Luckily, we got the pump with Jackson Hole coinciding here. According to that fracture, we should move until tomorrow all the way up to $67,500 approximately. Again, take this fracture with a grain of salt. I'm not fully convinced that we go and fill this here completely up. But you see here the overall trajectory is to the upside, even if we get a small pullback in the next following days. When we're looking here on the daily chart, finally you are seeing the signs that I was talking about, that this whole death cross thing was a massive fake out. You saw this with the pump yesterday, moving above the 50 moving average. As long as we are holding above the 50 and the 200 moving average, the trajectory of these EMAs will remain the same. And that will be a move into a golden cross here as early as not the coming week, but the following week, Wednesday, or the following week after that, Thursday. So in the next 2-3 weeks, we are going to get here a golden cross. It can happen a little bit earlier. The earliest point would be next week, Sunday, Saturday. That we are seeing that golden cross, and at that time Bitcoin will be most likely trading around $67,000, $68,000 already, and confirm that this death cross here was definitely a fake out, which I called from the beginning. I think I called it already all the way here, that I said if we get a death cross it will be a fake out, which now everybody is basically seeing it. On this daily chart, you see here that we are struggling to break $64,400 as a resistance. Currently, we are slightly below that here at $64,150. That is the current price of Bitcoin. Once we are breaking that level, I expect another short squeeze here into $66,000, $67,000. But I believe that this current resistance level will reject us back to the downside, and I'm going to show you here in a minute the exact level that I'm looking at for that rejection. But I can also tell you it will be really brief and quick, so there's nothing to worry about. But we are needing this reset. I'm going to show you in a moment why we actually need this reset. On the 1 hourly chart, however, things are looking extremely bullish right now for a little bit more continuation, so we could get that move to like $65,000, $66,000 before we get a bigger rejection below $64,000 here again. We did retest the EMA ribbon. That level here would have been a good entry level for scalping purposes. because if we can break here $64,500 on the 1 hourly chart, we will get continuation to the upside. You can see here kind of that we are forming here a small bull flag. So if I would draw here a line like this, so you see here that could bring us to like $68,000, that technical target. Like I said, there are some warning signs right now on the chart, and that definitely telling us that $68,000 might be not the first move that we are getting here before we get a small flush to the bottom of that EMA ribbon range at $62,500 and then come back up and get our continuation. Where is my confidence coming from that I'm going a little bit lower and getting a quick brief move to the downside before we actually start to move higher? One reason for this is here on the 1 hourly chart. First of all, that we had a really quick impulsive move here to the upside, and in this impulse move we left a fair value gap behind, an imbalance that needs to be filled. You can see here this upward sloping trend on the 1 hourly chart. As long as we are holding this, Bitcoin will most likely go higher and consolidate, or create another impulse move to go higher. It's definitely in the cards. But as soon as we lose this upward sloping trend line, expect that we will see a quick flush all the way down to $62,500, and from there get directly a bounce back to the upside. So this is one of the reasons why I believe that we are going to get here a quick flush to the downside. So the next reason is that on the MDX algo gradient, also heavily overextended, we are in a hot phase. We are just sitting below major resistance here on the supply zone levels from the MDX algo that come in from $64,650 to $65,300 approximately. You see here already also in divergence, so that's the word that I was looking for, a divergence indication here, which is reversal in so that is a reversal indication that price is reversing to the downside. And also here you see we got bearish divergence on the 1 hourly chart. Should come down here a little bit, and here on the 1 hourly chart with the super trend indicator, also here the last warning sign that we go definitely all the way down to fill here that imbalance is that we lose here the super trend at $63,400, but I would not wait until that, you know. So just wait that we are losing here this upward sloping trend line. That's if you are currently in a trade, that's where I would cut it, and then you can re-enter here at that imbalance or open a position from there, and that's the same what I'm doing. That's what I'm waiting for. On the 12 hourly chart here also, again, another indication why that $64,700 level is so crucial. You see here it was always a support resistance flip zone level. Every single time here, resistance, support, resistance, then support, resistance. Now again, yesterday, confirmed resistance when we try to break through this. I don't believe that there is enough steam left for Bitcoin to push through this before we get a pullback. Could we retest this level before we get a pullback? Yes, but I don't think that we are going to flip this into support and then get continuation. So most likely first a small retracement from that level, because it is a major resistance level, and then we get our continuation to the upside. Also, the indicators are in alignment with that. We are topping out here on the stochastic RSI, are in overbought territory. The RSI is also struggling to go higher. Only the MACD is still super bullish while price is going up. But like I said, so there is most likely one more retest in the $65,000 level left, but then we get a proper pullback, find momentum down here, and then push to the upside. And guys, if you're looking for liquidity and you really have literally zero money right now, then go and sign up on ZoomX. They still give you $10 just for signing up. We still do not have reached 200 users, so there's still a little bit left. Go and take advantage of that. And if you have at least $100 deposited also on ZoomX, you still stand a chance to win $500 here. 2 people every single week stand a chance to win $500. I will speak with ZoomX that I get codes for tomorrow again. That they will credit 2 accounts tomorrow again, so that I can draw 2. And also don't forget, for another 2 days, they have coverage on your trade if you use Bitcoin or Ethereum to trade with on their platform, and you lose $100, they giving you back the $100. So you see here, trading losses, we got you covered. They give you 200% coverage on trading losses for another 2 days. I will speak to them and see if we can extend that. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, take advantage of it while you can with the link in the description, guys. Then here on this daily chart, like I said, in this parallel channel, we most likely going to get a retest here of the downward sloping resistance line at some point next week at $67,600. Also from there, I expect a small pullback, at least to, yeah, basically here to the top of the candle, 65. Then we form something like this, then we pop out of it and get continuation into the $70,000 range. Do I believe that we will come back here all the way to the bottom of that support level that we broke here violently to the upside? No, highly unlikely that this is going to happen. But tomorrow, a candle to the downside is definitely in the cards here to fill that imbalance that we are seeing here in that current candle. And then we attack higher prices. Also on the 4-hourly chart here, we are shaping up to get our golden cross pretty soon. Remember, guys, that is the precursor for the daily that we should put in by early Monday. Early Monday we should put this in, but before, I expect a retest of the EMA ribbon here. The only question is, will we tap first $65,700 and liquidate everybody that's up here and then go down, or do we go down first and then come back up? So this is the only thing where I'm a little bit hesitant right now. But again, this upward sloping trend will tell us what's going to happen next. You know, so if we can maintain current price levels and break above $64,300, most likely we are going to tap today first into this short liquidity and liquidate all these shorts sitting up here, and then getting our reversal back to the EMA ribbon, which will be not the worst case for us. Remember, guys, when we move away from the EMA ribbon, we always come back to retest it, especially just after a flip and with an impulse move like this. And it gives us a perfect opportunity to open new trades from these levels. And also when we are looking here on the monthly chart on the liquidation heat map, you see here there is a high concentration around $66,000, $67,300 all the way up to $70,500. The overall trajectory is still to the upside here, but we should not ignore that when we go here to the 3-day chart, around $62,000 is right now also a lot of liquidity to be taken out on the long side for everybody that came late. So I expect here a flush into that long liquidity before we get then the move here to the upside. For altcoins, altcoins are also running soon here into some resistance. As we can see here on the total free, that excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum, we are at over $615 billion market cap right now, but this downward sloping resistance line on that falling wedge is currently giving us resistance. That's why you see some of the altcoins pulling back and some of the altcoins not really moving at all anymore since yesterday, because we need to break through this level to get continuation. So, and I don't believe that over the next 2 days that we are going to get this continuation, because Bitcoin needs to get the pullback. But into next week, then definitely we are going to see here the break out of this, and that will then create a lot of high returns on our altcoin backs. Also, the Bitcoin dominance is again above 57%. Remember, we spoke about this, that when Bitcoin pumps to the upside, we are most likely going to see this here. If Bitcoin pulls back, there's two scenarios. Either the dominance goes up or it goes down. If it goes down, it actually doesn't matter. In both scenarios, altcoins are going to suffer a little bit. But of course, I would like rather see dominance going down at that point instead of going up, because if we go down in the dominance and then the next day Bitcoin bounces back to the upside, dominance will come back up to retest the 57% level and then go back down. But if dominance goes up while Bitcoin goes down and altcoins are going down and dominance is pumping, that will be really bad, because then once Bitcoin stops to pull back and the dominance, let's say, is at 58%, and the next day Bitcoin continues to go up, dominance will keep going up in direction of 60%, and that's not what we want to see here. Ethereum also finally above $2,700. We spoke about this, that we can enter here when we break $2,700, so you would be roughly up 2% currently if you took the trade. Also here we are heavily overextended on a 12-hourly chart. The underlying $2,675 level should act now as support. I expect here also a retest when Bitcoin is pulling back. That will give you another opportunity to enter here before we get continuation in direction of $3,000 to the upside. So remember, guys, you have one more chance to enter this here at $2,675 before we most likely going to break here and rip to the upside. Solana also massive move here yesterday. Somebody asked me, why did I wait for $147.50? Here you see exactly why, because once we broke it, we started flying to the upside. That was the reason why I wanted to wait for this. So we are nicely up here on our Solana trade currently. Also here I see exhaustion and a turnaround. So here most likely we will come back to $150, which will also give you another opportunity to enter the trade here. Once again, I would not open anywhere else a trade for Solana anymore once we're getting down here. So if you want to trade this all the way up to $176, that is your last chance to enter this when we come back down here on this pullback for Solana on this 4-hourly chart. So if you're in this trade, don't worry, just ride it, because you should be already in nice profits here. Of course, if we can hold current level here, $157, all the way down to $155 as support, that will be nice, but I think we are going to lose that level here just briefly to the downside and then come back up and continue to go into higher prices. Then another coin that I'm personally currently trading is here Telegram. Remember guys, I told you about this. The target still remains the same, but also here we are running into this bigger supply zone that is giving us resistance currently. Do I believe that we are breaking through this? Yes, but also not from the 4-hourly chart. I think the 1-hourly chart was looking good. Yeah, so the momentum will come from the 1-hourly chart to push us higher, but you see here multiple resistance levels, 688, $7.07, $7.20, $7.40, and only then we get into our final take profit point here. So on the way up, there is a lot of resistance here, but overall, it looks like that we get continuation over the next couple of hours, and we are just about to print also a golden cross on the 1-hourly chart, as I just saw, and that should also help us to propel us into higher prices here. So potentially in the next 2 hours, we are putting this golden cross in, and that can bring us all the way up to $7 approximately before we get here a pullback. So, and just that you see that I'm not talking and actually have my money where my mouth is. You see here I'm up 4%, $400 on an $82,000 position on Telegram currently. And again, guys, if you want to trade on Bybit and you don't have any money, sign up here right now, deposit $100 and claim your free airdrop position here worth $500. Even with small money, you can make big money. Imagine if I would have traded this now with $800, I would be up $40, which is still not bad, you know. So, and overall, when my trade pans out, I think it's $10,000 that I make on this trade. So you would make $500 on that $500. So think about it, guys. You know, it's free money. Go and use the link in the description below to sign up on Bybit and get your free $500 position. Then Near is another coin that I have again on my map that's absolutely ripping right now. I kind of regret that I got out at $4. What was it? 60. I think 68 or something. I should have kept it and ride it here to the upside, but regardless that we are overheated here on the 1-hourly chart, I expect here a pullback soon, close to the 50 moving average that is trying to catch up here. I believe that even if price goes over $5, then we will get a pullback here to like $4.80. That's where I want to re-enter this and trade this to $5.30, $5.40 potentially. So I'm waiting for that pullback to re-enter Near here. Then Casper. Casper is good to enter right now. You see now why I waited for this. We are facing right now the 200 moving average as resistance on the 4-hourly chart. Once we're breaking above that, you're going to see a nice pop here. So I'm waiting for that pop because also the indicators are here currently heavily overextended. But when we go into the higher time frames here on the daily, there is still a lot of momentum on the RSI and also on the MACD. The stochastic will potentially top out today. But that is not really concerning me, because when I look at the weekly chart, we're just starting to turn around here, and I expect that in the next 2-3 weeks we're going to break here the all-time high of 20 cents and 8 approximately. So once we're breaking above the 200 moving average here on the 4-hourly chart, that is my entry point at 17 cents and 3. Then the next one is here Helium. Helium also absolutely monster currently here on the 4-hourly chart. I'm also just waiting for a small pullback to $6.37 approximately. Why $6.37? Because here on the 1-hourly chart, we just got a death cross. I believe that we come a little bit lower here into that support zone, into that demand area, before we break that supply zone. Hence why I believe that it down here is a good level to enter. And something else that I saw here is that the higher time frames are also ready to get another nice move to the upside. Look here, stochastic is flattening out at the bottom. MACD is bearish, RSI slightly pointing down but going sideways. Hence why I believe there will be a small flush to the downside where I want to enter and then trade this all the way to $8.12, a little bit higher than the higher high that we had over here. The first indication where I would enter prematurely would be if we break here above this downward sloping trend line. Then I will enter wherever we are breaking this. But until then, I will remain my entry here at $6.38. Then ICP is another coin that I have on my map currently. Here I am anticipating a move to $9. Once we're getting to $9, I'm entering from here. Also, just for the reason that we are by tomorrow, or no, sorry, not by Monday, Tuesday, we should get here also our golden cross. I don't really see here a reason for a pullback because when I go here to the higher time frames would suggest a pullback. Yeah, definitely. So then we have two scenarios, guys. One scenario is that we're moving into $9 and I trade from here. If we are not moving into $9, then I would expect a pullback to potentially $8.25. The target would still remain the same. And then $8.25 would become my entry if we get first a pullback. Unless we're breaking $8.74 and start to trend higher in direction of the 200 moving average on the daily chart. We've also still good to enter, but wait for today's candle close because tomorrow's candle could come down and create a retracement back into the downward sloping resistance line. So I'm waiting for this. And also because we did not get yet a buy tag here on the MDX algo gradient. We only got a sell tag with a take profit point, but we did not get a buy tag. So that tells me that we most likely chop here a little bit around until the gradient is cooling down and then get somewhere here the buy tag. And only then it will be super safe to enter. But most likely I'm not waiting for this. I just look at the price action. But if you trade with these indicators, by the way, there's a link in the description for them. That is the way how I would do that. You know, if you want to rely on these indicators, just wait that you get a proper buy tag and enter then. The last one is COTI. Here also, I wait for a break above 10 cents, 2.28. Just because for the simple reason that we get continuation here on the stochastic RSI. The RSI also still extremely bullish. MACD is bullish. So here, even though we get here take profit signals already, I believe we could still have enough juice left to move all the way up to 11 cents 0.8 before we get a bigger retracement here back into that small demand zone of 9 cents that is here underlying on the 4-hourly chart. But overall, be careful because the higher time frames are again here overextended. But I think, just like I said, I think there's one more push left into this price level. And guys, if you want also to try a new exchange, try Hotcoin. There is also a link in the description. They are amazing. Just check them out. No KYC, no VPN needed. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you with more profits and a little bit healthier tomorrow.